Dirtfish Rally, friends, and welcome to day 2 of the Safari Rally. This one is the classic day. We have 3 of the legendary stages in terms of Safari, George. We are on Sleeping Warrior. What else do we have?
We have Soi Sambu stage. It's been lengthened this year. It's apparently lovely and fast at the start. Then into the estate stages. Then we have the incredible Elementaita going past the Soda Lake. It can be pink when the flamingos are down there. They're not there at this point in the year. I had a look this morning, they're not there. But fantastic little quick stage, quite smooth through the trees. Interesting. And then into this monster, Colin.
It really is. It is a big day. It's the biggest day of the rally, this one. We've got 150 kilometres ahead of us. We have 3 stages in the loop, 75 kilometres each stage. Now, our stage of the day, well, you guessed it, it's where we are. It's where we saw a lot of drama last year. It's Sleeping Warrior, the longest stage in the loop as well. George, remind us of what happened here last year.
Colin, incredible. There was a forecast of a light rain. I looked at it and said it's not going to rain, but it did. Yeah. There was a reasonable shower. It wasn't proper Kenyan rain, but we got rain in this stage and we saw a lot of action happening. We had Tanak had his heated windscreen fail and the car misted up inside. We had cars that, well, couldn't stop. So we just had this incredible rain, and Thierry Neuville took the lead of the rally in here.
He did. It was quite a phenomenal performance from Neuville. Now, this stage, the reason for it being our stage of the day, well, do you know what? A lot of that might depend on the weather come Saturday. We're here a couple of days beforehand. We're going to throw to, who are we throwing to? Someone actually in the service park. What's his name? George Donaldson, in a little while, just to get an absolute update on the weather for Saturday. But, George, we've been through the stage, we've had a look at a few of the challenges here. Some of them may be a little bit weather dependent. Well, we're 12 Ks into the stage. It's a fairly innocuous opening 12 stage. It then starts to get interesting. George, this is part of the dilemmas potentially faced by drivers in this stage. Look at this mud. You get stuck in that, surely.
Colin, that mud that we're looking at, that rained here 24 hours ago, it is drying out, but still, that mud is nearly half a metre deep. It will weigh a tonne, an absolute tonne. You don't want that on your car, but if you get in there, it grabs the car and sticks it.
It's like glue.
It's like glue. Yeah. Now, this is a short one. These could be hundreds of metres long. So what do you do?
What do you do? But here is the question. If you look behind us, Eric cameraman, they've just come out of a 90 right. Now, as you can see, the line takes them a slight right along here and then another slight right. But if you're brave, George, yes, and if you know that this mud has dried out, you potentially, while others are taking 3rd, 4th gear, you could be in 6th gear and straight off down that road. Is that a safari-style gamble? And might we see these things happening? What would you make? Maybe a second and a half if you're lucky. But if you get it wrong and you get sucked in and stuck in, the stuff could be game all over.
Colin, I mean, it's such an interesting topic. This, I mean,
it is straight. Look, George, it is straight if you want it, or it's a kink.
There's 2 or 3 seconds at least available here, so that's significant and that's worth having. But as you say, you know, you get a kick off that first mud hole. The car lifts up. The car lifts up and you slow down, you come to the second one and in you go, and that's you finished. So you just need to know the condition of it. At the moment, a rally car would just go straight across the top of that, not a problem. But if it got stuck, it would stay.
And we are, as George said, they came through here yesterday, a little bit of rain on the recce. We're a couple of days out yet, actually, we're 3 days out from when the stage will run. Have a look at the blue skies above us, Eric. It's a beautiful day. It's an absolutely gorgeous African day to be out on these wonderful high plains. The forecast, though, is for rain. If it rains in this stage, this is not the only spot where you could be in a little bit of trouble. So we've had 18 kilometres, George, almost flat out. We've had the dilemmas of those mud holes that we've looked at. But this is where the stage starts to get interesting, because you have choices to make here. There's jeopardy in this section.
There is. Well, just as you're coming into this fumarole, this rock outcrop, across the last of those plains, the road starts to become wider. And there's a choice where to go, Colin. And then all of a sudden you come up to the edge of this little escarpment and the road narrows down. Negative camber,
Look at this.
Very
as well.
bumpy, very
Lips.
bumpy, Colin.
What do you call this, George? This is almost a.
Those are ruts, Colin. Ruts and negative camber ruts on a slope. We're driving down the side of a slope.
And what do you do? I mean, there's a
Well,
choice here, George.
I think you go high and flat through it, but if you catch a bump, Colin, it's going to kick you out. What happens then?
Come and have a look at this. Come and have a look at this. Hidden behind this bush. If you're, you elect to take 10 k's, 15 k's more, and it knocks you slightly to the right. You don't think there's anything here, but hidden behind this bush, look at this, an enormous rock. Do you know what? It was bird poo. I thought someone had scuffed it. But look at these rocks. These are the kind of decisions that the drivers are going to have to make in this stage. There's decisions to be made potentially should the weather come, with water holes, with mud holes, with potential lines, with slipperiness. But perhaps more pertinently, once we get into this rougher, tougher stuff, what do? Flat out, or do you use the brain?
The brain every time, Colin.
Every time on the safari. George, we're in the last 2 kilometres of the Sleeping Warrior. This is where it gets really juicy and really interesting. This surface, tell us about this. It's unusual because there's only 1.5 kilometres, 2 kilometres of it.
It's just a little lava outflow that came here about 150 years ago. It's just pumice and basaltic rock. And you can see the rock drying all around the plains around us.
You see this here?
But
It is relatively
these massive
new
flows.
geologically. Look, I'm using new words. I don't think I've used geological before in a rally programme, but you can see it's relatively new, isn't it? This,
Yeah, it is. And there are very narrow sections in here as well, Colin. And these rocks are heavy, solid, but there's a lot of loose rocks on the top, making it very difficult for a car to maintain its line at speed. So they have to kind of pick their way through here.
Look at these rocks here. Okay, that's in the middle, but look at that. Look at that. That's polished because someone's hit that already with a sump guard. That won't do it. That'll scratch it. But some of these bigger ones, George, look at this. You're coming down here.
That's a puncture.
That's what it is, a puncture. That will puncture the tyre if you hit it. Well, if you hit it straight on, it's probably the best way. If you hit it on the side, it could damage the suspension. You've got to be so neat and tidy, and in some ways you have to absolutely manage your drive through this rock garden, George. Yes, it must feel as if you're going ridiculously slowly, but the difference, we talked about it earlier on, 10, 15, 20 kilometres an hour makes could be catastrophic, to use one of your words.
It could be, Colin. And last year I was surprised that the drivers came through here just as quickly as they did. And in Terry Neuville's case, he flew through here, but maybe he paid the penalty the next day.
Maybe he did.
And that's what you've got to think about.
Yes, you might lose by picking your way through this rock garden 3, 4, 5 seconds. But as Neuville found out last year, or Neuville as George calls him, potentially there's a lot more to lose if you don't respect the lava flow of the rock garden. So yeah, there's plenty, George, there's plenty in this stage to catch you out. But this stage is going to be a challenge. But they're all challenging stages today, George. This is the day where I think the rally could well define the winner and the losers.
I think it absolutely has all the potential to really be a killer. Managing tyres, well, are they going to run with 1 spare or 2? You've got to get out onto that next road section with 4 tyres on the car. And what's at the end of that stage? The worst possible conditions for a puncture at the end of the last stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And George, you know what? The tyres that they make in Pirelli are continually evolving, those tyres. There are many rallies in Europe where you can rightly rely on the tyres. You don't really have to think too much about tyre management, about looking after tyres, about tyre risk. Here you do. Anyone that doesn't consider their tyres through these stages is being a little bit foolish, a little bit blasé about the challenge that is these stages.
Well, here it's basically no tyre could survive what these stages can offer you if you are foolish and just decide to make these crazy cuts. It's nothing to do with the tyre, it's everything to do with the fact that you've gone over basically a razor sharp glass rock.
You can't make a tyre to stop puncturing.
It's not physically possible.
Not physically possible.
If it doesn't take the tyre off, it will take the whole wheel off. It's these rocks are that big and that damaging. So it really is about careful management for the drivers. They have to consider keeping their car alive, managing their tyres, making sure they've still got good tyres coming here, and then they've got a 60-kilometre road section back to Nairobi.
So much to offer today, but a lot of what we've talked about is dependent on the weather come Saturday morning.
Well, good morning, Dirtfish Rally friends. What a day we've got in store for you here. Actually, I'm beside myself with excitement and a little bit terror because I just drove up from Naivasha and the road is incredibly busy. Lots of trucks, lots of rally spectators, and I think a presidential convoy went past me, which was pretty spectacular stuff, I can tell you. However, look behind me. We're here in the Great African Rift Valley, Naivasha, Nakuru, and Lake Elementaita just behind us. The sun may pop its head up. We're not getting just the sunrise that we'd hoped for to make it a complete Into Africa experience. However, it's about 16 degrees, quite cool this morning, but it's not going to rain, not during the rally, not according to the forecast. It looks very overcast behind me. These are the Aberdare Mountains just over the back there, just behind me, and that's where all the rain comes to fill these lakes. They can give us a shower, they could give us a thundery shower like we saw last year, but it seems very unlikely. 3 fantastic stages, repeated a second time, and that massive, massive Sleeping Warrior stage in the background.
Fabulous weather report, that, George.
Only the best science calling for me, of course.
Wonderful. So a lot to come, a lot to enjoy on day 2. It is classic safari. It really is. Wonderful stages, some incredible scenery. Don't forget, we've come north of Naivasha in today's stages. Different from yesterday, lots of mountainous stages yesterday. Today we're on the plains, the grasslands. Really a fabulous day ahead of us here for day 2 of the Safari Rally. Lots, as always, of jeopardy. Lots of drama. Lots to talk about, George. Where, George Donaldson, is the place to be for all of that as it unfolds? Where, George Donaldson?
Where?
I'm hanging. Where, George Donaldson, is the place to be?
Oh, where?
Dirtfish.com!
Sorry, go.